Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Inner Empress and you're here at Inner Empress Readings. So for those of you who this is your first time tuning in, welcome. For those of you who have been rocking with me for a while now, welcome back. So this is a new type of reading that I'm trying. This is for your chakras, so we could take a look at them, see how your energy centers currently are, whether they're opened or closed, what you may need to do in order to improve the health of them, as well as looking into your aura and figuring out what color are you predominantly emanating currently and any advice the universe has for you. So take a moment to review the piles. They're going to go in order 1 to 4. You can pause this video if you have to, so you can have a little more time. And when you're ready, you can find the timestamp in the description box below. All right, so for those of you who chose pile number 1, let's take a look at your chakras. So, crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, and root. Okay, so I'll hold on to this. All right, so your root chakra. All right, so we have the 6 of Pentacles clarified by the 7 of Swords. All right, so for those of you who chose pile number 1, I'm seeing an imbalance in your root chakra. That's chakra number 1, and that is located in the groin area. Definitely, if you want to see the placement of these chakras, I encourage you to go look it up on Google or whatever search engine you feel comfortable with, and you'll be able to see the energy centers. This one is red. It's right near the groin area, and pretty much this deals with how grounded you feel in the world. And what I'm seeing here is I'm kind of getting a sense with this 6 of Pentacles of someone feeling like they're not very grounded, as if they have lost their power. They've given away their power to someone else. I feel like perhaps you may feel as if you don't make the right decisions or haven't made the right decisions lately in regards to helping someone. You might be someone who over helps others, or you might be someone who right now you actually need more assistance than you feel comfortable accepting. But there's something with the give and take, and someone feeling as if, I almost feel like shame in a sense, almost feeling like it's something they're trying to hide, something with a bad decision. Every time I see this particular card and this person, let me see if I can put it more into view. This person holding this sword above their mouth, and it's like, if you can see, there's a little rip. I don't know how well this will show, but there's a little rip. And I always get the impression from this particular card that this person possibly didn't think something through, and now they're kind of regretting this decision, like it's coming back to bite them in a sense. So in regards to your root chakra, perhaps something is going on with your home life, like where you're actually living. Maybe you're having issues with bills, or it could be problems in the house, home repairments or something. I feel like it's the physical world. It's the things that you feel as though you have. It's your foundation, who you feel as though you are as a person, the foundation and platform you feel as though you stand on. There is something with that that is not as solid as it should be. Now, also, I just caught something with these swords around here of someone possibly feeling as if there's people around you who lie and take advantage of you, people who may not be telling you the truth about situations. I feel like it's a very mistrustful energy. And going back to this 6 of Pentacles, it's really hitting me of either you feel as though you need assistance, but it's kind of a sense of feeling like the people you might be relying on are not reliable, are not trustworthy in a sense, or there's some type of shame of having to rely on them, or you might be the person who's handing out assistance. And it's just this feeling of there's not a mutual return. There's not a mutual give and take that's going on. It's almost like being used, like someone coming to you as if you're a bank, pretty much, as if they think you have an inexhaustible amount of resources. So that's coming through for the root chakra. I feel like this energy right now is, for some of you, it's going to be closed off, and for others of you, it's going to be overactive, like if you're over giving in a sense. And with this being the root chakra, I feel like it really is hitting your self-worth, how you feel about yourself. So whether you're overgiving or you feel as though you're like taking and needing to get from people, it is hitting you in regards to how you define yourself and how worthy you feel as though you are. Some of you might be overgiving because you feel like that's the only way people connect to you, the only way people appreciate you or want to be around you in a sense, or needing to be needed in a sense. But for others of you, it can be a feeling of your self-worth is taking a hit because you feel like you're not grounded. You feel like you have to go to people for support. And there's a something with like should have. I'm hearing that echo like should have. And so you possibly think like, I should have been further along in my journey. I should have been more stable by now. I should have, you know, something with comparisons that's coming up. So for those of you who chose pile 1, the root chakra definitely needs some areas of work. So we're going to go into that deeper, but there is definitely an imbalance here. Moving into the sacral or sacral chakra. Now that one is right in the pelvis area and it's orange. Once again, you can definitely refer to a graph of the chakras if you want to really like pinpoint on the body. But the sacral chakra, it's fascinating, but I feel as if this center is actually pretty well balanced for those of you who chose number 1. This is usually where sexual energy comes through, and sexual energy, however, is creative energy. But the sensuality, you know, the way that we relate to other people in intimate relationships, definitely I would encourage doing more research on the chakras as well, because each chakra, like I'm kind of dusting over them, like the meanings, but they can go very in depth. And if you want to know what that is, I encourage you to definitely look it up. But your sacral, however you pronounce it, this chakra, I feel as though is actually pretty well balanced. Some of you are actually holding off from having sex. So, but I don't feel as if that's a bad thing. I don't feel like you're out of balance in a sense, out of whack. Some of you might be resorting to like self-masturbation instead to handle that and to keep that chakra, you know, spinning, going. But others of you who are possibly having sex, I feel as if this is a very inspired type of energy. Some of you, I'm hearing choosy, so some of you may have become more choosy in regards to how you express yourself sensually, how you, even like with creating, I feel like your inspiration and sexual partners, of course, as well, but it's so much more than just sex. This is so much more than just sex. Like this is desire as well, but desire and passion can go for many things. So I feel like this is actually hitting you more in a mental space of feeling inspired, feeling motivated, feeling like you want to create something. So for those of you, whether you're having lots of sex, whether you're holding off from sex, I feel like this is a good moment for you though. I feel like it's helping you to clear your mind, and I feel as if you have been more passionate about things, more inspired and driven to make things happen and to create, to even connect with other people. I just heard shy. Some of you might be really shy and have been trying to break out of that and speak to more people. Could be even in a romantic or sexual type of way. Could be platonic as well. Doesn't have to be sexual. Like I said, it's just a matter of allowing that life force energy to flow through you. Some of you also may have a passion to travel. I feel like you might be sparked to travel. Some of you also might be sparked to create children, families as well. The reason why I bring this up is because I'm very drawn to this world that this little minion is holding, as well as this pentacle that's in the Ace of Pentacles hands. And I feel like many of you are trying to create your own worlds right now. Like you're very inspired to either travel the world, be a part of different communities, be a part of different cultures, see different things. I just heard invent. Some of you might be trying to invent something, or perhaps even invent yourself, like a new version of yourself. But there's some type of creation that's happening here, some type of newness that's happening here. And I think that's brilliant, first off, because this is in a center, you know, the sacral center, where one would feel that energy of creation. I just heard something along the lines of like breaking boundaries, breaking like stigmas in a sense. So some of you may be inspired to like push boundaries, to kind of rebel against something that maybe you allowed to hold on to you before. Now this chakra is the solar plexus, and we have the King of Wands clarified by the Four of Cups. Okay, so what's interesting about this is the solar plexus tends to be kind of the chakra where it's how you relate to other people energetically. It's where the intuition is usually housed. This is right above the navel. And as I said, I'm definitely dusting over the meaning. So if you want to go further, I encourage you to. But with this being how we relate to other people, and also kind of, I want to say what we do with our creativity. Some people see this as the power center of the body. So, you know, as your core, your powerhouse. But what I think is interesting here is that I feel as if it's not necessarily closed and it's not necessarily open. It's like a halfway, like the door is ajar, if you want to think of it like that. And the reason why I say that is because with this King of Wands, I feel like perhaps quite a few of you are picking up a lot of energy from other people. Some of you might have spiritual gifts that are really hitting you right now. You might be feeling it like in your gut, that gut reaction, that instinct. So there might be things that are hitting you like that. For somebody specific, you may possibly be a medium and have been feeling the energy of spirits and things of that nature. And so, and I just heard something about like an old house. I don't know if somebody lives in an old house, is moving to an old house, or like visiting an old house or something. I don't know, something with an old house, but I feel as if like you're definitely picking up some type of energy from the house. And I'm not saying that it's necessarily bad. This is going to resonate with who I'm speaking to specifically right now, but I'm just getting an energy of like you picking up signals in this house. I also just heard something about an ulcer. Somebody might be dealing with an ulcer, especially because of stress. I feel like because this center is so active for you that, what am I trying to say? It's like you're trying to filter the energy, and it's been coming through to you as like anxiety and stress because of how much energy you're taking in, and you're kind of like personalizing it versus filtering it out of your body, out of your system. So I heard something about an ulcer for someone. Yeah, that's gonna be specific for someone watching. But going back into the overall message here, I feel as if those of you who chose pile 1, you might need to take some time to yourself. Please be sure to recharge your batteries, especially if you find yourself becoming more social, find yourself being invited out places a lot more. I feel like there is a charm and a magnetism to you right now that is like really drawing people to you. I just heard something about like partnership. So some people might be asking you to, I don't know, go half and half with them on a business, or enter into a relationship together or something. I just heard something with a team. I don't know who that might be like relevant for, but something with a team. But people wanting you to join into their circle, people trying to invite you out. However, please be careful about that, because you don't want to burn out. And that's what I'm seeing here. Some of you might be partying a bit much. Some of you might be drinking a bit. Some of you might be traveling quite a bit. And I get an energy of just burnout. For others of you, I also feel as if your center has been urging you to get out more. For some of you, I definitely feel as if your solar plexus has been like, you almost feel like you're getting tugged. For some of you, like it's a rope in your stomach center, and you're getting like tugged and pulled. I feel like the universe is purposely trying to pull you towards certain type of adventures. So for this particular pile, your solar plexus it's very important for you. That's what's really coming through to me. Like, this is a center that you process the world quite a bit through, and I feel like you relate most to it. You notice it more than the other ones, perhaps. I haven't gotten through the other cards, and I only look at these when I turn them over for you. So we'll look into that. But I really feel like this area is urging you, and make sure that you're protecting yourself. You know, some of you might want to wear some crystals that help with, you know, recharging that area, with grounding your energy, repelling negative energy. For others of you, you might just want to do a salt bath. Some of you might want to just ground yourself while putting your feet in the soil, or standing in a shower and letting the energy run off of you down the drain. But just make sure that you're protecting yourself and not even just on an energy level, but also a physical level. If there's too many demands on your time, if you're becoming like a workaholic or something of that nature, it's like an energy of go, 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 go. Like it's very fast-paced energy, and I just get a sense of burnout here. And like I said, for others of you, it's like there's a pull, there's something tugging on you, trying to get you to move, trying to get you to go, go, go. So just pay attention to that center. All right, so this is the heart chakra. Okay, so for the heart chakra, we have the 9 of Wands and we have the Hierophant. Some of you, I instantly heard something with the fear of commitment. I feel like for some of my viewers watching in pile 1, you might be avoiding like love or relationships because of a fear of commitment. Some of you might possibly, I feel like there's some type of hiding going on here. So it could be the fact that you're trying to hide away from love, trying to hide away from perhaps even a traditional viewpoint on love. That's going to resonate for some of you. For others of you, I feel like there might have been some pain that you dealt with in the past, and you, like, I'm very drawn to this person wearing this mask right here. I feel like someone's wearing a mask. Someone is not being necessarily upfront with how they're feeling. There's a sense of caution here. There's a sense of, I don't know, I feel like trying to do the right thing for someone. So for some of you, it might be the fact that you feel pressured in regards to love, in regards to connecting to other people. It doesn't have to be just romantic love. It can be in regards to connecting with others. You feel like there's some type of wall up, some type of disconnect. And I just heard like, sorry, it was like faint and fumbled, but it was something about like, why me? Like, why is it so hard for me? So some of you might feel like it's really hard for you to connect to other people. You know, really hard for you to open up your heart to other people, to trust other people, to believe other people will really like the real you. And that's coming through very strongly. For others of you, I feel like you might not be being true to yourself. And there's a way that you want to live your life. The way, I just heard something about LGBTQ. So perhaps that is an issue in regards to feeling like you can't be with the person you want to be with or express who you truly are. That is affecting how you connect with other people because of some type of traditional standpoint or society or something of that nature. But I'm definitely getting a sense of that. However, I do feel like the energy here is hopeful. I do feel like regardless, whatever is going on here, there is a sense of hope. There is a sense of a person being willing to try to be their true selves, willing to try to give something another chance. But it's just a little difficult right now. It's a little difficult. I feel like the heart area, there's a little guardedness here, a little protection. And that could be the fact that for some of you watching, you might be protecting it against people who you feel as if have been defensive. You know, maybe you are happy in your friendships and relationships or whatever the case is, and there might be people around you who don't approve of that, but you're happy. So there's something here with being on guard, with being shielded, and trying to find a sense of you in an established way, like something that's already established. So it could be your society, could be your community, your family values, could be another person that you're dealing with, their family values or their morals, how they deal with things. But it's like, definitely this person has felt as if they needed to be cautious before, felt like they needed to be on guard, but there's a sense of wanting to open up. So for those of you in this pile, there is a sense of wanting to be more free. Now in the throat chakra, we have the 8 of Cups and the Page of Wands. Okay, instantly I got a sense of somebody cursing someone out. For some of you who chose pile 1, I feel like you might have had some arguments recently, some misunderstandings. I feel like there might have been some petty spats that took place, or people saying things that they did not mean necessarily, kind of like in the heat of the moment. For a very small group, I feel like it might actually be, I don't know, I feel like you might actually be running away from a situation, like not speaking your mind, but I feel like that's a very small group in this pile. And for that small group, I think the universe is talking to you about that. Obviously, this chakra is closed, this throat chakra, and it doesn't always have to do with just speaking. Sometimes with this being the throat chakra, it actually has to do with listening. So some of you might not be listening to someone or listening to yourself, your intuition. You know, the universe might be trying to give you signs, and it just seems like you're I mean, quite literally walking on thin ice. You're really not trying to heed the warnings that it's giving you. Now, going back to those of you I was talking about who possibly have cursed someone out, I feel like there's like a shaky energy, and I feel as if, I don't know, like things, I hear like collecting. So something might have been building up. Something might have been bothering you to where it's like, you know what? I can't stand this anymore. I have to say what I have to say. Now, you may perhaps have gone back afterwards and thought about it and was like, you know what? I could have expressed that in a much better way. But I do feel like somebody has had the need to express themselves. You know, say what was on their mind, say what was bothering them about a situation. And I keep hearing, I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. So I feel like somebody in this pile, like, it is very important. They're like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear what you have to say. I don't want to know. It's something like that that's coming up and echoing. Very random, but for somebody, I feel like something with your voice, what's coming to me? Something with singing. I heard something with singing. So somebody being like kind of nervous or timid or shy, something like that, but needing to take a chance with their singing, needing to kind of like pursue that. And I keep feeling like, I don't know, like a stage for some reason. Very public. I feel like needing to let your voice be heard. I'm also getting a sense here of someone walking away from like negative habits, you know, like just being fed up of their own negative behavior and trying to walk away from that. But I feel like there's some type of temptation. So I'm not exactly sure if that's directed to the person I'm speaking to or you directing it towards someone else. It's a lot of people who are watching, but there's some type of energy of temptation, of being tempted into something that somebody's trying to walk away from. And so the universe is definitely putting that through that. That's an area of concern with this chakra for those who chose pile 1. So perhaps you have people around you who are trying to pull you back into a situation that you don't need to be a part of. Could be a habit you try to kick, such as alcohol, or I don't know, there's something with trying to better yourself, but feeling as if someone is trying to persuade you, someone is trying to, like, you know, it's a very, I don't know, it's a very manipulative vibe that's coming through. But with this, I just feel like a person needing to put their foot down, needing to stand on their own. I also hear compassion though. So make sure that you're listening and you're also speaking with compassion. Now, compassion does not mean, and this is the thing, when I talk about love and light, when I talk about being kind, compassion, things of that nature, I'm not telling anyone to ever be a pushover. You can definitely say what you need to say with conviction and still say it in a way that is love and light. It doesn't mean that you have to be all rainbows and butterflies. It just means that you have boundaries that you're willing to put down and let people know, hey, if you cross this, I'm going to dip or I'm going to kick you out of my life. Like, these are the limits in my life that you cannot cross. And I feel like some of you need to set limits, set boundaries, might need to actually say what some people cannot do in regards to your life. I feel like this might be really important for those in pile 1, especially going back to the roots chakra, and how this deals with like your foundation, how you feel about yourself, kind of in a sense, self-esteem, and that being rocky. Some of you might need to tell people, no, you can't borrow anything else from me. No, I can't help you because you're not trying to help yourself. And some of you might actually have to walk away from people who you need help from, but they make you feel bad about it, but they make you jump through hoops for it. They make you feel like, you know, you're not good enough or you should have been doing more. Like, there's something that needs to be expressed. There's some type of boundary that needs to be set down. And I feel like the throat chakra here is actually not as balanced as it could be. All right, so the third eye chakra, we have the Hanged Man. All right, so the third eye actually, I feel, is opening. I feel like your third eye is definitely opening. The reason why I say that is because I feel like the universe is putting you through, you know, with this Hangman, a time of suspension where you have no choice. Like, some of you might literally be feeling as if you're moving through some type of like sluggishness, some type of, I don't know, time might feel like it's been weird for you lately, like it's sped up or it's slowed down. There's something with the timing feeling altered in your life. And I feel like the universe is making you have to look at things, clearly look at things and see things for what they truly are, how you've played a part in it, how other people have played a part in it, patterns, you know, deceptions. You're seeing the truth of things. And so that's really hitting me. I also heard vivid. So some of you might be having like vivid dreams or vivid daydreams, imaginations, something like that is coming through, something with vivid. But allow this to happen. Allow this to happen. I feel as though your third eye is definitely opening, and this is good. This is benefiting you because it's going to help you to see the areas in your life that you do need to shift and change. And now for your crown chakra. Wow. Okay. So we have the 8 of Wands and we have the World. So your crown chakra is very active. Like the universe is definitely hitting you with lots of messages, and the crown chakra is at the top of your head. And just so you know, I'm sorry, the third eye is a little bit above the space between your eyebrows. So that's there. Throat chakra is of course in the throat. And heart is in the middle of the chest, in the heart. But with the crown chakra, a lot of messages are coming through to you from spirit. And I think that's why it's very important that your third eye is open as well. So the fact that your root chakra is blocked, I feel like the universe is trying to speak to you pretty much pouring downwards. The crown is usually where you would get insight from the universe, get divine guidance. You know, sometimes you might feel a tingling at the top of your hair. I just heard something with pulling. Some of you might feel like there's a pulling sensation, or somebody has like pressure on the top of the head. Something like that is coming through. I just heard falling. Some of you might sometimes feel, maybe even when you're meditating or sitting there trying to like envision, do manifestation work, you might feel like you're falling backwards somehow, like through the top of your head. So that's coming through. But the main thing with this is the fact that the universe is trying to help you to get more imbalanced by trying to hit you at your higher chakra levels. So it's trying to hit you on the spiritual planes to help trickle down into your earthly dimensions, into your, you know, throat chakra, into your heart, into your solar plexus, and so forth. So you're very active. This is very open right now for your crown. Your third eye is open. We need to, however, look into how to balance these out. So I want to pull a few cards. I also want to find out which chakra the universe wants to speak with you about directly to work on in the next 6 months. This one. Okay, your heart. For the next 6 months, pile 1, the universe wants you to work on your heart chakra. So with your heart chakra, that has to deal with love, yes, but it also has to deal with emotionally connecting to other people. It has to deal with universal love. I just heard something with like kindness for others. So really having to do with trusting other people, allowing other people in, allowing yourself to feel safe and vulnerable. So perhaps you want to wear more green. Perhaps you want to put more green around you, such as plants or crystals, or just in objects around your house or whatnot. But there's a need to open up your heart chakra, to really work on that. And some of you might have to heal your heart chakra. For the next 6 months, you might need to focus on healing your heart chakra. I just heard follow. So some of you might need to start following your heart. You might have been getting signals and signs from your heart chakra about what it is you really want to do. Some of you might be going against what your heart is telling you. That can be for a work purpose. That can be for a love purpose. It can be the fact that there's something you want to do, but you are going against that because of some type of, I don't know, formality or something. Could be family opinions, could be something with the justice system, could be something with employment, or just like a tradition or something, like what is considered acceptable, and you're not following your heart because of this, but you want to. So definitely focus on following your heart, you know, opening your heart, strengthening your heart. And for some of you, that might be quite literal. Some of you, this might be a literal thing of, you know, heart health. You know, checking out your heart and making sure that like your cholesterol or something with a doctor's visit. For some of you, that might be quite literal, but really focus on your heart for the next 6 months. Now let's look into the other ones. let's find out how we can go about balancing these other chakras. And this is just going to be some ending guidance for those who chose pile 1. All right, so for those of you who chose pile number 1, let's find out what the universe wants you to do in regards to your romantic love life. Okay, so we have love yourself first. It says, your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So for those of you, as you're working on your heart chakra, as you're focusing on yourself, on being more vulnerable, of being more open, of healing, the universe wants you to know, focus on yourself, focus on your self-respect, your love for yourself. I think this also connects to your throat chakra and being able to express your boundaries, being able to express what hurts you, what you expect from people. I just heard flow, but it had a negative feeling to it. So I feel like some of you have been just going with the flow of certain things, you know, just being real casual about certain things that honestly in your heart, you don't feel casually about. You feel as if, you know, there's something else you want. Perhaps that is commitment. Some of you might want commitment. Some of you might be avoiding commitment, but it's a matter of sitting down and really asking yourself, what is healthy for me? Like, what am I doing? What are the choices I'm making? And is this truly healthy for me? Also, am I relinquishing the power of myself to someone else because I like them, because I love them? You know, you really need to sit and evaluate your patterns and see how that relates to how you've been treating yourself and allowing other people to treat you. Sit that to the side. All right, so now I'm going to pull these two first because this is how to maintain what you've already got going on with your third eye and your crown chakra. So for your third eye, it says to keep this chakra maintained, pretty much you have to have crystal clear intentions. It says, Archangel Michael, be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. And I think that's so important for you. This is really great for your third eye because of the fact that it deals with seeing, you know, seeing things. So to have crystal clear intentions, to be clear about what you want, to focus on it, you know, to envision it is to manifest it. So your third eye is pretty much open at the moment. It's pretty much rotating in a way that is very healthy for you at the moment, and it's going to continue to open and close as is healthy as for you. So in order to help that process, the universe is saying to just continue to be crystal clear about your intentions. Now, in order to maintain your crown chakra, we have compassion. And you know, it's crazy because I've been talking about compassion coming through in regards to the heart chakra. And so the universe has literally been trying to translate a message to you of compassion. And it says, soften your heart with respect. This is crazy. And you guys saw me shuffle on camera. But soften your heart with respect to the situation and all people involved, including yourself. And I feel like that is definitely mirroring this love yourself message. So the universe, in order to keep yourself aligned with your crown chakra, receiving that divine knowledge that's coming to you, the universe is saying, have compassion for yourself. Have compassion for others. You know, I hear be kinder to yourself. Some of you need to be so much more kinder to yourself than what you've already been. And focus on that self-love. Focus on, you know, your boundaries. And I feel like the more, and boundaries is not a cage. I'm not telling you to enclose yourself. I'm not telling you to like put down a gate and lock yourself away. I'm saying that by having boundaries, you actually open yourself up to freedom, because it's like you're in this whole big, beautiful field and you're just letting someone know, hey, don't come over here with no bullshit. And so if they do, you still have this big, beautiful field, but you're letting them know you have to go. I'm not entertaining you in this space. So that's what it is about boundaries. Boundaries is not walking into a cage to keep other people away from you and so they don't hurt you. Boundaries is saying, this is what I'm going to do to respect myself, to respect my time. This is what's healthiest for me. And if you don't agree with it, then fine. Either I'll leave or you have to leave. But it still allows you to have freedom because you're honoring what it is you said was healthiest for you. When you give up your boundaries, when you are so willing to put yourself in situations that you know are not right for you, that you said you were not going to do, when you do that, then you're actually walking yourself into that cage. Then you're actually feeling trapped. So that's something to keep in mind. But in regards to your crown chakra, it's already pretty much open. It's all pretty much balanced. In order to keep it that way, have compassion towards yourself, towards others. And as I said, having compassion and living love and light does not mean being a pushover. It means standing in your power and knowing that you don't need to try to be excessive or hurt someone, that just having conviction is enough. All right, now moving forward, I'll start with the root. To get this chakra more in balance, your root chakra, we have angel therapy. Give your cares and worries to us angels. Also, there's like a car alarm bumping in the distance, and I feel like that's a message for someone. So I just need to point that out. And it just stopped. Give your cares and worries to us angels and allow us to take your burdens. Some of you, it's hitting me quite literally that you might want to go to therapy. You might have been thinking about it and have been feeling kind of shaky. It could go back to that feeling I mentioned of shame, of someone feeling embarrassed, of needing some type of assistance. But don't be. The universe is definitely talking to you about you have assistance around you. Now, like I said, that could be literal, where some of you want to go to therapy or feel as though you should, and that's absolutely fine. For others of you, it could be the fact of what the angels are talking about in regards to simply speaking with the universe, speaking to whoever you pray to, and just saying like, look, there's some things I'm worried about, and I need to just give it to you. I just need to give it to God. I just need to give it to Allah. Like whoever you pray to, whoever your spiritual support system is, could even be the people around you. You might need to talk to someone around you that you really trust. And the universe is saying, there's a lot of cares and worries that you're holding on to, or you're trying to alleviate for other people. And you have to trust that the universe loves everyone equally, that the universe loves you and will provide. You don't have to feel like you have to do everything alone or to step into certain paths to help others who may possibly not really need that help. All right, so for your sacral chakra, we have hello from heaven. Okay, so your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. So this is very interesting. Some of you, it just hit me. You might have a loved one who is either a distance from you, like across seas or some type of long distance relationship or something, or you may possibly have a loved one who passed on. And that could go back to what I was saying about some individuals in this pile who are not having sex actively, but are kind of like self-pleasuring. So I definitely get a sense of there's a feeling of kind of like longing detachment. So it's like you're kind of connected to the energy of someone, but not physically like manifesting and engaging in that. So that's what's hitting me for some of you. For others of you, I feel as if this is just actually an energy of other people, like connecting with other people. I also mentioned how some of you in this pile were using sex as a way of like garnering. I just heard sex magic. Some of you might be performing sex magic, but some of you might be using sex or sexual energy, passion, to ignite yourself, to be inspired, to harness that energy and move forward. And I feel like this hello from heaven is actually the universe talking to you about how it can feel you manifesting, and it has probably been sending you assistance. You might, for some of you, I just heard attraction, so you might be finding yourself like very attracted to people. I just heard sense. Some of you might be smelling like certain scents that are turning you on. Could be like a cologne or something, but there's like, I don't know, I feel like the universe is like turning you on, to be quite honest, arousing your senses, and wants you to know that that is how you can balance that area, by finding like almost like a passion for life. So that's definitely coming through. For some of you, you will be reuniting with someone that you're long distance from, and that's going to definitely help rev up that energy center, especially as you kind of connect with that sexually. But also, as I said, it doesn't have to just be a physical sexual energy. It is passion, and it's all about what you're doing with that passion. So now for your solar plexus, we have teaching and learning. So to balance that energy chakra for you, it says keep an open mind and learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. I think that's beautiful, especially considering how many people are like being drawn to you right now. I feel like the universe is definitely giving you a platform to like speak and to listen. So as you go forth and you start putting yourself in an area, and I also was talking about travel in this card, some of you feeling the pull to go travel, to go socialize, to go be around other people and experiences. As you sit there and put yourself into these experiences, you're going to find opportunities to connect with people, to be able to learn new things and to teach new things, teach things about your way of life, your way of thinking, the way you do things. And so that's how it's going to help you to stay balanced, because some of you, like I said, there's a burnout here. And when you get burned out, you close off. So definitely as you balance, you know, being a teacher and being a student, it's like an equal give and take. That's going to help you to rev up that energy, to keep it flowing positively. And that's what you want. I also get a sense here for someone that someone needs to get into like writing. Like, I don't know if some of you happen to have like creative ideas that deal with writing, and you might need to get those ideas out. You might need to like start working on a novel or a book or a poetry or something, but there's a need for something with like written word. I just heard spoken too, so it might be a fact of you like poetry, speaking or something. Like, I'm sorry, I'm feeling jumbled, but something like that came through very quickly for someone. All right, so for the heart chakra, we have passion. Trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. So in order to get this center to be well balanced, you need to follow your heart pretty much. And that's what I was saying earlier. Trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and your career. If it's a certain job you want to do, go ahead and take it. If it's a certain person you want to be with, you know, and it's within healthy reasons, you're going to know what's right for you, then go in that direction. And once again, what I also want to point out is I was mentioning LGBTQ before. This angel's wings are rainbow colored, like all the colors are here. And I think that that's really fascinating that that's standing out. So for someone, this is very important to, you know, kind of love is love. Be with the people you love, be with the person you love. Now for the throat chakra, we have relationship harmony. Like I said, you guys saw me shuffle on camera, so my mind gets blown too when these things pop up, because I was just talking about with the throat chakra how there might have been some disagreements, might have been some arguments and stuff, and for relationship harmony to come up and as a way for you to balance this chakra, you know, it says we angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. That's powerful. So the universe is definitely saying that as you get more into listening and also speaking your truth, that is going to help create harmony. I feel like the situation, from what they're saying, is already being worked on. So they're probably already working on you. You've already been feeling as if perhaps you've been listening more, understanding more what people mean when they're saying something. Like, I feel like there's something about the undercurrent. Somebody said something, but you hear the true meaning and what they meant. And I also feel like you might be speaking more or feel yourself pulled to speak more. And so I feel like the universe is already working with you on this chakra, and that's beautiful. Now moving into your closing guidance, we have surrender, defensiveness, and surrender to passion. You saw me shuffle. You saw me shuffle, and you have passion again. You're over here working with your sacral chakra, which is dealing with your passion. You're over here, your heart is telling you to follow your passions. I mean, you have a closing message of surrender to passion. And it says, get out of your head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. I mean, it can't get much clearer than that. And then it says surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. That's hitting me a lot in regards to this throat chakra right here. That's really hitting me in regards to what we were just talking about. So, pile 1, I think this is wonderful. I think this is wonderful. Yeah. This is beautiful. I feel like definitely there are areas that can be improved upon, but I mean, we're human. This is life. We're not supposed to be perfect. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with these areas. And I also want to look into real quick what color your aura is predominantly right now. Ooh. Okay. So right now, for those who chose pile 1 predominantly, the color of your aura is this indigo color. So definitely I would encourage you to look it up. I unfortunately don't know the deep meanings of all the colors, but I do know that indigo tends to deal with spirituality, tends to deal with, I believe, like a color connected to the higher realms. So connected to the more spiritual realms. Definitely look it up if you feel called to and find out more about the spiritual meaning of the color indigo. But I think that this is very significant considering that it's also the third eye chakra card that came out, and that is one of your chakras that is open, is balanced, is, you know, helping you to connect, you know, down the line of your throat and your heart and moving forward. So right now you're really working with the higher centers of your spiritual being. You're working with the higher realms right now to let that trickle. And I think that you're doing a great job so far. Also, with this being indigo, some of you might be indigo children. So that might be something of interest that you want to look up. But definitely, I think this is really beautiful of a reading. And you know, just be open to yourself. I feel like you know. I feel like you have an idea. Like, what I feel like I told you, I don't feel like it's a huge shock to most who are watching this. Like, you already had a sense. You already had a feeling of these different things in your life in these areas. And now it's just a matter of whether you're going to apply the energy needed to make these adjustments. And pile 1, before I go, because of the fact that I just realized that these were turned over, I feel like the 3 main colors right now in your aura are indigo, red, and like this beautiful orangey, like it's like a burnt yellow. So that's what's coming out right now in your aura. You definitely might want to look up the spiritual meanings of these colors, and that'll be able to tell you more about what's going on with your aura. So pile 1, thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you lots of love, light, and positive energy. I encourage you to look up more about the chakra centers and their different meanings. I encourage you to look up about indigo, the spiritual property of the color indigo. And if you have any questions or anything relating to the reading, please be sure to drop them in the comments below. If you happen to like the reading, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I do take the time to read every comment. I do take the time to try to respond back to every comment because I appreciate you taking the time. Also, if you would like a personal reading, I do offer those on my Etsy shop. You can find the link for that in the description box below. But please keep in mind that this is a general reading for the collective. So once again, love and light. Take care. All right, so for those of you who chose pile 2, let's look into your chakras, their alignment, and your aura colors. Okay, so we have crown chakra, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, and root. Okay, we'll start with the root. All right, so for those of you who chose pile 2, wow. All right, so you have the star and you have the Lovers card. So what I'm picking up from this energy, I feel like I'm just getting very high spiritual energy here. Now, the root chakra is the first chakra, and it's considered like the base chakra. And it really helps us with how we define ourselves as a person, how stable and grounded we feel in like our life, our decisions. I definitely encourage you to look up the chakras and, you know, their meanings, because I'm kind of dusting over them, but there are materials out there that will go more in depth for you. And you'll also be able to see like where these chakras are on the body. But you have a lot of, first of all, these are two major arcana. So these are two heavy, major spiritual energies affecting this chakra. So your base chakra, like who you are as a person, how you define yourself, you know, how you feel about what you have in your life, is heavily defined, I feel like, by your spiritual connection. I almost get a sense of like otherworldliness, where a lot of you kind of have this attitude of, I don't want to say like earthly things don't matter, but you're just kind of like, you know, it's so much more out there to life. You know, there's so much more beyond this, like almost in a sense like earthly things don't matter. You feel so much grounded in who you are because of the fact that you have a deep spiritual connection to the universe. I also feel like something with echoes of like a past life. Some of you might be star seeds, and I don't know, it's just a very big spiritual connection here. I also feel like for those of you who chose pile 2, there's also a feeling of you ground yourself more in like your connections, like kind of your relationships with the divine, with, you know, those around you that you care for, like something of that nature. There's a very, I feel like your purpose in a sense for a lot of you in this pile, you might feel like you were meant to do something with healing others, you know, something with healing the world, loving others, something like that is coming through, and it's beautiful. You know, there's a feeling of there's so much more. I have a purpose of so much more. That's wonderful. Wow. Sorry, it's just like, I don't know, like this energy, this, I don't even know how to explain it. It's beautiful. It's a very light, I almost want to say angelic energy, but I feel like you're heavily influenced by the universe in your root chakra. You know, some of you might not even feel, I don't want to say not rooted to the earth, but I don't know, some of you in pile 2 might be more into astrology, more into the stars and the planets, and you know, some of you in this pile might be into alien life, and I don't know, something like that, like looking beyond just the world in a sense. Now this is the sacral, however you want to pronounce it, chakra. Wow, so you have the King of Wands and the Empress. So it's funny, the King of Wands came up in the first reading, but in a different deck. So there's a lot of energy here. I feel like you are creating. This is beautiful. So because you are being like grounded almost from the universe, you know, as your platform, your foundation, going into the sacral chakra, your center of passion, of drive, of will, of sensuality, sexuality. I feel like you might be very sensual people in this pile. You might really enjoy sex. Some of you might be pregnant, or you might have quite a few children. I feel like there's a lot of, what am I trying to say? A lot of fertileness going on here. But, but I just get a sense of, I don't know, it's like nurturing and creating and just a lot of sensual energy. It doesn't have to deal necessarily all the time with sex though. You know, sexual energy is the energy of creation. I'd like to think of it like fire, pretty much the King of Wands. You know, fire can create or destroy based on how you use it. So I do feel as though this center, for those who chose pile 2, I do feel like it's a nice energy here. I don't feel like your root or your sacral chakra, I don't feel like that's blocked. I feel like you're using it in a healthy way. I feel like you're using the energy from your root moving into that chakra, and you're kind of divinely sparked by, I just heard miracle. I don't know if somebody, like, I don't know what that means to someone. That could be like someone got pregnant and they were told that they couldn't, and it was like a miracle baby or something, or it could be something with operation in that center. Like, this is your pelvic area. So the root chakra is around like the groin area. The sacral chakra is around the pelvic area. So I don't know if someone, I don't know, I heard miracle. So I don't know how that relates, but I feel like somebody may feel as if some type of miracle took place in that area. Wow, sorry, that just hit me. But yeah, it's a lot of beautiful energy here. A lot of beautiful energy. Some people, I also heard sacred sex. Some of you might be getting into sacred sex, learning about possibly Tantra, the Kama Sutra, relating to one another through sexual energy, but in a way that honors the divine and, you know, divine masculine, divine feminine. There's something with that going on, but it's healthy. It feels, for the most part, healthy. I don't feel like there is necessarily an abuse of power here in the sexual realm, in the energy of passion and will. I feel like it is, I don't know, I heard honor. So I feel like for those of you who chose this pile, like maybe you honor connections with people, especially going back to the lovers. Some of you might possibly in this pile be in very fulfilling relationships and feel as if like you're satisfied all around, like sexually and emotionally, and even in regards to your home life, your family life. But there's just this, I don't feel like this energy level is negative, you know, or closed or blocked for those who chose this pile, and that's beautiful. All right, so for the solar plexus, we have the Page of Swords and the Five of Wands. Okay, so there's a competitive energy here. The solar plexus is pretty much what people would consider like your power center. It's right above your navel. And this is usually the area that people get that feeling of intuition, that gut reaction from. Now, this is also where you kind of generate creative energy. And I mean that differently in a sense from sexual energy. I look at sexual energy kind of like the gas that fuels the car, versus the energy I'm talking about here is more of the energy that you actually are going to do something. Like, you know, it's the foot that touches the pedal. So my bed is creaking, sorry. When my bed tends to creak and I'm reading, I feel like my spirit guides are with me and they're like, yep, we agree with what you said. So thank you, spirit guides, for the creaky bed. But yeah, I feel as if this energy here is actually what you do, you know, what you're going to use, where your supply in a sense. Now with this is also where you relate to other people energetically. Now you relate to other people on all of the other chakra levels, but this is kind of where you sense other people's energy. For most people, some people are more sensitive in the third eye or, you know, the heart or things like that. But for most people, this is where you're kind of connecting to other people. Now, what's fascinating is there's a protectiveness here. There's a little guardedness here. So I think that's very interesting considering what happened with the base chakra and, you know, the sacral chakra. Your solar plexus, there's a touch of competitiveness. There's a touch of defensiveness. You might feel, and I just heard understand. So for those of you who chose pile 2, you might feel like people don't understand you. You might feel like people try to test you a lot. You might feel quite competitive, as if you have to compete for something, but there's definitely an energy here. It could even be something with gossip, especially considering the Page of Swords is here, but there's a little disconnect here in this chakra. I also feel as if some of you may feel like you don't really connect well to people on this level at all. Like this Page of Swords almost feels a little lonely to me considering this crowd over here. And it's almost like feeling like left out, as if maybe you don't feel connected. And I'm kind of not surprised considering, I don't know, something about the energy in this pile just feels very connected, you know, to the stars in a sense. Like I said, you might be a star seed, so maybe you don't feel connected to a lot of earthly issues or a lot of earthly concerns that people would be concerned about. And I just feel like there's some type of disconnect here when it comes to you and how you feel and what you believe versus other people. So we're going to look into that further. But now this is the heart chakra. Come on up. So the heart chakra is 9 of Pentacles. This is beautiful. This is showing that for the majority of those who chose pile 2, that you feel very grounded on your own. You feel very accomplished. You feel at peace in a sense with who you are. You know, I feel like the heart chakra here. Now for some of you, this can be a sense of, you know, this might make it difficult for you to connect with another person intimately when it comes to your heart chakra. And it doesn't mean, I don't mean intimately in regards to like just sexually or romantically. I mean that in regards to being vulnerable with someone, especially because this is such a singular type of card, almost like the Hermit. So for some of you, I feel like you have mastered self-love. Like you are very okay by yourself as a person, and you feel very complete. You know who you are, you know what you want in a sense, and that's beautiful. For others of you, you kind of have that sense, but I also feel like you might have a gate around yourself where you are in a sense so happy being alone that the thought of kind of being with someone else or letting someone else in, doesn't have to be just romantically, just being vulnerable with other people, kind of scares you. So that's coming through. We're going to look into that a little more as well. All right, so the throat chakra. We have strength and we have 10 of swords. All right, I am staring right now at this lion who is roaring, okay? And so I feel like for some of you with this throat chakra, see, I'm getting a sense with this 10 of swords, for a very small group of you, very small, I feel as if you may have recently had some type of like conversation with someone who like feelings really got hurt. And it might have been the fact that you said something that you didn't mean to say, or it could be the fact that, you know, in a sense, somebody said something to you they didn't mean to say, but there is a blockage here. That's for a very small group of you. For the majority that I'm sensing from this particular pile, I kind of feel like this lion is stuck behind this. It almost looks like, I don't know, like a little wall of swords. I hope you can see it. I almost feel like this lion is stuck behind this gate. Like you're not saying everything that you need to say. This does not have to be a bad thing. This doesn't have to necessarily be arguments. Now it could be, but I'm feeling it more so in regards to not speaking out about certain ideas that you have, not letting certain opinions be heard. Like there's so much power in your voice. Some of you might be, and I mentioned this in pile 1, some of you might be singers, might be public speakers. There's something like you need to be speaking, you need to be talking, and you're not, in a sense. You're kind of holding back. For others of you, it could be something with listening, though I don't really get that much from this pile, because the throat chakra is not all about just talking. The throat chakra is also about how well we listen as well. And I don't feel like you have a problem listening. In fact, I kind of feel like you might listen a little too much, if that's possible. I feel as if you might take in other people's opinions and thoughts of you a little too much, to where you might be second guessing yourself a bit. And I kind of get a sense of fairness from you. So I feel like you do try to consider other people's point of views. You do try to sit down and say, okay, well, this person said this, this, and this. Have I been that way? You know, you try to check in with yourself first, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I do feel like you might be internalizing what people are saying more so than realizing that some things just need to be brushed off. Some people are just jealous or bothered by how, like, there's just such a kind energy almost in this pile. I feel like it might bother some people. It might trigger them because maybe they're not as kind. Maybe they're not as inspired or insightful as you may be. Some of you, I feel as though, feel like you haven't been heard. And so you kind of stop talking about certain things, either your ideas or your thoughts or what you're passionate about. But it's kind of like you just shut yourself down because it's like, what does it matter? You know, nobody's listening. Yeah, so we're going to look into this as well. All right, so your third eye. Okay, so for your third eye, you know, it's interesting, and I'm going to say what I'm sensing real quick. And just so you know, I don't know what the cards are before I turn them over. I see them for the first time when you see them. But what I'm seeing here is that, and we'll see what this card has to say, but it looks like kind of like your outer chakras are open, and it's the middle ones that need some adjusting. And that's not necessarily a terrible thing. That means you're soaking up information, and you know, it's also coming through most likely from the crown chakra down, but there's somewhere in the middle, there's somewhere in the throat, the heart, and the solar plexus that there's a blockage. So those two energy centers are not meeting. And I just heard indigestion. Some of you might actually have like dealing with indigestion lately. Might be some pain in the intestinal area, but there's some type of blockage in the middle, like the abdomen section and upper chest of your body. And what the thing with the chakras is that they're energy centers. However, they also, you know, it's a belief that they also deal with certain things physically, like they manifest physically for us. So when they are maintained and balanced, you know, we're happy, we're maintained, we're balanced, and everything is good. But at other times when they're blocked, we can experience problems like with thyroid issues for certain people in the throat chakra. There can be, you know, intestinal issues in regards to the stomach, or there's different things that happen like that when they're blocked. So that's why it's important for us to identify this and see where we can adjust these energies. Now, going back to your third eye, this is really nice. You have the Queen of Pentacles and you have the Seven of Pentacles. I feel as if the universe is actually talking about, I'm getting two messages. Something just hit me real quick. I feel like for this pile, you have a good vision of like the long term. I feel like your third eye is balanced enough to where you're able to see the potential of things. You're able to see far into how something will progress, how the seeds of something will grow into, you know, something else. And I feel like that really helps you in regards to the decisions you make. That's probably also why you don't worry so much in regards to the material and what you have and whatnot, because you kind of see where the universe is providing for you, where if I take this path, this will lead me to this, and that's kind of what I want. So I feel like the third eye, you know, it's a really positive energy here. It's a very grounded energy here. I feel like it's a very stable, flowing, growing energy here. And I think you get like a lot of creative ideas. I also heard something with business. You might have business ideas or like business smarts. Like there's something like that. Something in regards to the way something runs, the way things run. You may have a good idea in regards to dealing with other people because you have like a nurturing side. You understand kind of the dynamics of relationships. And that goes back to your root chakra. That goes back to, that goes back to the Lovers card that popped up. Now, I also want to address the fact that this card just fell in. I picked it up upside down. The second message that hit me, I heard single-mindedness. So I think this is relating back to the heart chakra and how even though you have like great insight, even though you're able to see far, I think some of you are actually disconnected from envisioning the future with other people. I think some of you might be so focused perhaps on yourself and, you know, your future. I don't know, some of you might be focused on, I don't want to say necessarily money, because I don't get that sense, but it's like, what am I trying to say? I feel like your wellness, your well-being. I feel like you're very focused in on you and what it is for yourself, and it's kind of like trapping you in because there's so much more that you could be connecting to, that you could be creating, that, you know, your insight could actually be helping. So I think the universe is talking to you about, and also I just heard something about like not doing. So some of you might have wonderful insight and idea and observations. It also might be something with research. You might be researching something heavily, but I feel like you might not be applying what you're seeing. So that's coming through for some of you who chose pile 2. All right, so for the crown chakra, we have Page of Pentacles and Page of Wands. There's a lot of earth and fire here. I just want to put that out. So for your crown chakra is actually well balanced. Your crown chakra, you have the Page of Pentacles who is sitting here. You have 2 pages. So it's a very, I want to say it's a light energy. I feel like your crown chakra may have actually, I don't want to say recently opened, but perhaps you've been paying more attention to it. And I feel like it's been inspiring you in regards to the moves that you make. The moves that you make, and like kind of, I hear like in steps you take. So literally in regards to the inspirations that you have and where you want to go. Some of you might be feeling an urge to move forward somewhere, to move forward with a relationship, to move to another house, a job, or something. There's a very playful energy here that's curious, and it wants to expand. It wants to go on adventures in a sense. And I feel like the universe is opening your mind to possibilities, seeds of thoughts. You might have been thinking of new things lately, and for some reason I'm going back to research. I don't know why, but I feel like research is important to someone here. I'm very drawn, even though these are pages, I'm very drawn to what they're holding as if it's an ace. So almost like the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. And I don't know, like I feel as if the universe is really hitting you with giving you energy. I just heard something about low energy. Some of you might have been dealing with low energy. And so the universe is trying to inspire you into new ways to kind of, I just heard something about disability. So some of you might actually be dealing with the disability in regards to an injury or something like an accident, or perhaps even born with a disability. And I feel as though the universe is talking to you about how to kind of like redirect your energy where it's needed most, to not feel as though you can't do something or you no longer can do something, but to realize that there is still a way to get to that goal, but it's just going to take another path. So I really feel like you have been inspired with innovative thoughts in order to how to get things done, you know, how to manifest. I also feel like the world is trying to ground you more. The universe is trying to center you more into the world, especially because I feel like your energy is so rooted like in the cosmos in a sense, that I feel like the universe is trying to bring you down to earth a bit, and not in a bad way, but just in a more grounded way to like what is around you. So you might, I just heard something with environmental. So some of you might be getting more into environmental issues and concerns, or like ways to, I don't know, you might be inspired to start gardens or things like that. But I feel like the universe is trying to inspire you to kind of make more of an impact in the world and in your community. All right, so now let's look at what chakra you should be focusing on for the next 6 months. Wow, okay, so we have the base chakra. So for the next 6 months, the universe wants you to focus on your base chakra. Now, what I'm kind of getting from this is that because your energy feels so, like I said before, like so, I don't know, just like not, I don't know how to explain it. It's not bad, but it's just like spiritual in a sense, like not here, not in this necessarily plane. I feel like you might be operating on a different frequency. I feel like the universe for the next 6 months wants you to actually make a choice to ground yourself more in the physical realm, to care more about, you know, your life, about these decisions, about where you're moving, where you're planting yourself, who you're aligning yourself with, because I just get a very free flowing energy from this pile. And I feel like the universe wants you to focus on that. Also, considering the Lover's card, it might be a fact of you needing to really look at the relationships around you and if they are where you need to be. Some of you might be dealing with higher level soulmates or contracts, soul contracts, twin flames, and perhaps that's throwing you off, you know, off balance because you're kind of so focused on that relationship and that energy versus like being here in the 3D. And so I feel like the universe is talking to you about, in the next 6 months, just really focus on your choices, on your decisions, you know, what you're manifesting, and if it's positive for you, if it's healthy for you, and if I hear rooted, if it's rooted here, manifesting it here. All right, so let us look into how to maintain and balance these chakras. And I'm gonna have to pull 2 separate cards for the third eye because it was 2 like conflicting energies that were coming up. So I'm gonna pull a card for how to maintain for those who have this particular chakra already balanced, and how to balance for those who this chakra may be more closed. So we'll move into that as well. Also, I want to move into a closing out message for you. And now advice to you in regards to your love life and heart chakra. So I'll put this to the side and we'll go through that later. All right, so let us look first at what the universe wants you to know and do in regards to your heart chakra for your love life. And we have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. So for some of you, I'm getting 2 different messages from this. From some of you, there is a feeling of, I feel like it's a spiritual energy. I feel like this could be in regards to, like I said, a soulmate, a higher level soulmate or contract, twin flame. For others of you, I feel like it might be something with like someone who has passed on, like some type of making peace with someone who has passed on. I feel like their energy is around you. And then, you know, for the majority, I feel as if it is a matter of reconciliation. You know, there might be someone that you need to reconcile with. There might be someone that you want an apology from, or you feel as though there's some type of misunderstanding that needs to come back together. Some of you also could be waiting for a partner to move closer to you. So it could be the fact that you're in a long distance relationship, but there is some type of coming together. And for those of you who I'm speaking to, that this is more on a spiritual level, I feel like you may be feeling, you know, a soulmate's energy around you, a previous partner who possibly passed on energy around you, and the universe is talking to you. I feel like this person, this woman, and even this man, I feel like they're embracing this situation. I'm sorry, it's so dark, guys. I feel like they're embracing this energy, they're embracing this situation. And it's a matter of just, you know, don't fighting in a sense. I feel like some of you, you know, as I said, some are very happy with just being as they are, but some people are fighting to stay alone. And so don't fight it. All right, so now I want to move into the maintaining energy first. So for your third eye, the universe says, beloved one, I am helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. So in regards to maintaining your vision with your third eye, keeping that balance, the universe is talking to you about your spiritual situation. Like your spiritual relationships apparently is very important for your life. You know, and I saw that with that Lover's card over here in your root chakra. So I feel like when your relationships are balanced, that's when you're able to see clearly. But also please understand that there is in a sense, no relationship more important than the relationship you have with yourself. So you must be at peace with yourself before you can, you know, truly be aligned with another person. And I mean that in regards to, you know, when you love yourself in that way, when you love yourself, then you can show somebody else. You won't accept less than you deserve. And so that's definitely coming through. I also feel like some of you might be in positive relationships already, that because I mentioned that down here, with some of you are having relationships where there's a lot of, you know, wonderful sex going on. I feel like you guys are connecting on the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual. And so I feel like that relationship might actually be really positive for you and might be helping your third eye. And so this reconciliation could be the fact that perhaps you have come together with a partner and entered into this relationship. They could have been a previous soulmate of yours from a past life, or, you know, however it resonates to you, or you might have felt like you just knew this person before when you met. But some of you might already be in a relationship that it feels like you came home. It feels like, you know, this is I don't want to say the other half, because I don't look at us as being half. I see us as whole individuals, but I see it as perhaps this union is what helped to kind of further connect you to the divine. Now, in order to balance this chakra, for those of you who this chakra may feel like it is blocked or closed off, we have passion. Trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. So wow, so for some of you, it's already balanced because you are having a harmonious relationship. And for others of you, in order to get it balanced, you have to follow your heart. You have to follow your passion. That's going to be in regards to what it is that you see yourself doing. I know I was talking about manifesting and seeing long term with this third eye. So what it is that you feel as though you should be doing for your career or your love life, you know, seeing beyond just yourself, seeing the type of partner, you know, envisioning the type of partner you want to be with. I feel like who you're aligning yourself with is going to be very important for your spiritual ability to see. Now, it's hitting me with me just saying that's possibly also why there could be some disconnect in the solar plexus, because of the fact that you might have people around you, as I said, that there's either some type of competition with, or they're jealous of you, or there's some type of muddy energy that's coming through that is kind of like affecting you and blocking you and making you feel like an outsider, or as if you don't belong, or you know, if you have to be on guard all the time. So that could be what's kind of distracting you and distracting your third eye from operating properly. Now, in regards to your crown chakra, in order to maintain this, we have nurture. As you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. So as you continue to nurture yourself, you will continue to be able to maintain your crown chakra and receive that divine guidance that you need and that's necessary. So I think that's really beautiful. For some of you, you might also possibly be doing something with children. It could be that you're teaching, or perhaps you run a daycare, or you just had a child or something. But I feel like, and it's not necessarily just a child, not for everyone, but I get a sense of someone depending on you. You know, it could even be like an animal. The fact that you're showing compassion and you're showing love, that energy is putting you in a space to be able to receive from the universe. So something with supporting others and being supported is coming through, and that's helping to open your crown chakra, especially because of all these women who are right here in this baby. If it doesn't resonate for you in regards to a child or like an animal, then it could be the fact that you might, you know, as you bring yourself into more harmonious communities, more support systems that align with you, and also just recognizing that you have spiritual support around you. You are very spiritually connected, pile 2, very spiritually connected. I feel like as you embrace that, then your crown chakra, it allows it to continue to stay happily balanced. All right, so for the root chakra, we have spread your wings. Do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you are ready to soar. So in order to maintain your root chakra, the universe is telling you to take some risk and take some chances. I definitely talked about some choices possibly having to be made in regards to, you know, putting down roots and, you know, making decisions in regards to possible partners. And the universe is telling you to take a risk on some of these things that you're trying to weigh the choices back and forth on. That's going to help you to maintain that chakra. Now for your sacral chakra, We have moon cycles. Notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestation, and capitalize upon these cycles. So for you to maintain this chakra, because this one was pretty well balanced, the universe is just talking to you about paying attention to the moon cycles, how you feel each month. You know, you might be heavily affected by the full moons, by the different astrological, happenings that take place with the retrogrades and, the returns and things of that nature. So just pay attention. You might also, some of you want to keep a journal so that you can kind of write down, like, I don't know, something about like menstrual cycle is coming through. So someone might possibly, I don't know, I think I mentioned someone earlier with a child, like pregnancy or something of that nature. So you might want to keep some type of like record of your cycle, and that's going to help you to keep that balanced and maintained. But I also feel like the universe is letting you know that your sacral, like I said, however you want to pronounce it, tomato, that chakra, I almost feel as if it balances itself. I feel like for some reason it goes through, what am I trying to say? Like each month, I feel like it's a renewal in a sense. Now, of course, what you do affects that, but I feel as if that energy, kind of what it's saying is it's going to close itself off when it needs to, and it's going to open itself when it needs to. So I really don't think it's much that you have to do in regards to this area. Now, with your solar plexus, we have courage. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. Now, once again, I was talking about this being how we relate to other people and also our power center. I was talking about that competition and how people, some of you might be butting heads with other people's opinions. There might be some challenging going on of your opinions, of your abilities, someone not believing you can do something. And the universe is saying, in order to balance this chakra out, be courageous. Stand up for how you feel. Stand up for what you believe. Don't let someone take your power from you. For the heart chakra, we have chakra clearing. Oh, wow. So we have call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes. And this is Archangel Metatron. So for those of you who are comfortable working with angel energy, you might want to sit down and talk to Archangel Metatron, ask for your chakras to be cleared. You can also pray. So you can, whatever your faith is, you can speak to whoever your deity and spiritual support is, and just ask for your energy to just be cleansed and cleared. And this is for your heart. So for some of you, I also feel like there might be a clearing out that needs to take place of the pain, like from the past, or even a fear. So definitely needing to like cleanse out energy that your heart is kind of like holding in, especially because it says some of you are definitely happy being like as you are. Could be single, could be like in a relationship. There's a groundedness in who you are. But for others of you, that's almost being used as a shield. So definitely for those of you who are using it in that way, you're going to want to open that up. You're going to want to cleanse whatever is making you feel this way out. There's even meditations, guided meditations on YouTube that you might be interested in listening to for chakra clearing. So you might want to look into that. And now for the throat chakra, we have sensitivity. You are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. That is powerful, because that goes back to what I was saying with this 10 of Swords and this Strength card. That goes back to how I felt like some of you felt like you weren't being heard, you weren't being listened to, and you felt like you couldn't express yourself. And the universe is saying that, you're very sensitive to the people around you, to the energies around you, to the opinions of others. And the universe is talking to you about, make sure that you're not allowing, the feeling of not wanting to hurt somebody else's feelings or something of that nature stop you from expressing how you really truly feel. This is making me think, for some reason, I saw this written earlier today somewhere, but it was saying how you need to express yourself, because if you don't, some people might think that you're agreeing with what it is that they're saying, even if you're uncomfortable with it. You not standing up for yourself might be taken as a yes. So I feel like that's relevant and needs to be said right now, that some of you might be in uncomfortable situations and aren't saying something, so those around you are taking it like, oh, well, they're cool with it, and you're really not. All right, so now let's move into the parting message. We have surrender the idea you can fix someone and surrender comparisons with other people. really hitting me with that solar plexus, that competition energy. Now, this says, keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. So that's a parting message for you, group number 2. And then we have, it's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. So whoever is around you that you may be feeling, and this could even be related to you. This could be the fact that you feel like there are people around you trying to fix or change you. But if it is the reverse and you feel as though there's someone around you that you're trying to influence in a way that would be better suited for you, definitely pause yourself and ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this? Why do I feel like I need to do this? And why can't I, in a sense, accept that this is the way they are? Now, accepting that someone is the way they are or a situation is the way it is doesn't mean you have to stay around that person or in that situation. It just means you're allowing yourself to see it clearly, and you can make a choice about if you need to move forward or if you want to stay. All right, so now I want to see the main colors of your aura. Wow, base chakra. Okay, so the main color of your aura is red right now. And I don't know why, but I feel like I'm supposed to pull another card. Wow, okay, so red and like this magenta type of color. So this is the main colors that are currently coming through in your aura. I would suggest that you look up the spiritual meanings or properties of the color red and of like magenta, and that'll be able to tell you more about your aura, more about the energies that are currently surrounding you and moving within you. But overall, I hope that this reading was able to help you. Those who chose pile 2, I'm sending you lots of love, light, and positive energy. And I thank you so much for watching. If you happen to like the video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I always take the time to read every comment and to reply back to them because I appreciate that you took the time. And please keep in mind, this is for the general collective. So there's going to be certain things that don't resonate with you or your situation, and that's absolutely fine. If you like a personal reading, I do offer those in my Etsy shop. You can find the link for that in the description box below. But thank you so much for watching. Take care. All right, so for those of you who chose number 3, let's look into your chakras and your aura color. All right, so this is the crown chakra. This is third eye, throat chakra, heart. This is solar plexus, sacral. All right, and this is your root chakra. Okay, so your root chakra, we have the King of Cups and we have the Page of Pentacles here. Hope you can see that. All right, so I feel as if your root chakra is actually pretty well balanced here. Yeah, I feel like the energy is pretty well balanced here. I feel as if those of you, there is a feeling of, I feel like you're logical individuals. However, I feel like you're also led by your intuition. Now, your root chakra, and I definitely encourage you to also do research and look it up. I'm pretty much going to give a dusting of a meaning. But your root chakra deals with pretty much how you feel grounded in the world, how you kind of define yourself. And it's the first chakra, it's the base chakra, and is located near the groin. It's like around the groin area. And this chakra is red. So I feel as though those of you who chose pile 3, that you definitely have a pretty good sense of who you are as a person. I feel as if you definitely have been striving to like bring your dreams into reality. I feel like you might be very imaginative people. Also, I don't want to say necessarily very spiritual people, but I feel like you do feel a sense and a pull that there is something greater leading you in certain situations. And you make an effort to try and pursue that, try to manifest that. So I do feel as if the root chakra here is pretty well balanced. I also get a sense for some reason of some of you coming out of hardship. So it might have been the fact that you almost felt in the sense you were starting over from something. Perhaps you felt like you lost everything, or, you know, you might have taken a certain turn in your life that was not the direction you were intended in. So you felt like you had to, you know, circle back and maybe go restudy something or build a new life. But there's something like that coming through, and I feel as if there's some type of experience that has helped to kind of ground you and center you and define who you are and what matters to you in this life. Now, in regards to your sacral chakra, however you want to pronounce that, tomato, we have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Empress. For some of you, I feel like you are actually possibly coming out of some type of, I don't know, it could be like celibacy or something. But I feel like for some of you, there was some type of weight. Now, this particular chakra is orange, and it's located in the pelvis area. Now, it deals a lot with sexual energy, but please keep in mind that sexual energy is the energy of creation. So it's not necessarily just sex. It is passion. It is willpower. Like I said, please definitely feel free to do more research on the chakras, because each one has like a much deeper meaning than what I'm giving. But this energy, and I kind of likened it in the last pile to the gas that fuels the car. And so I kind of feel as if there was a pause that some of you were on. Some of you might have felt very uninspired, might have felt in a slump or something. And I feel like you're coming out of that. I feel as if you might be feeling supercharged. Some of you might be feeling super sexual. Some of you might possibly be pregnant. And there's an energy of just wanting to create. Like, the time is up. I'm tired of waiting for something. I need to just make this happen. So I feel like this chakra is actually very active right now. And I don't know why, but I'm staring at the clock. It looks like a sun and a moon. I feel like it's talking about a year for some reason. I don't know if some of you have had to wait a year for something, or are currently in the process of waiting a year for something, but there's some type of manifestation, something taking place that I feel like it took a whole 12 months for. Now, for the solar plexus, we have the Queen of Cups in reverse, and we have Justice in reverse. All right, so I feel as if the solar plexus is definitely having some blockages here. This chakra is yellow. It's located above the navel, and it deals with, you know, it's considered like the power center, the energy center. It's where we tend to feel, for the most part, our intuition, those gut reactions. And it's also how we, you know, relate to other people. So, I mean, you can definitely take in energy from other people in all different energy centers. But a lot of the time, this is where we relate to people and kind of expression of self as well, like outward energy. So I would liken, in a sense, as I said, the sacral chakra being the gas that fuels the car, the inspiration and willpower, versus I would see the solar plexus as like the foot that presses the gas. So it's kind of like that energy that you do with. And so this being in reverse, I feel like there's a disconnect happening here. There's a blockage. I just heard unsure. Some of you might not be making certain decisions because you feel unsure, you feel unstable in regards to, you know, am I making the right choice? This could be for some reason in regards to your emotions, in regards to possibly a relationship. Some of you might be dealing with potentially toxic relationships that are making you feel like you're powerless, making you feel like you just don't know how to make the right choice. And that doesn't have to be romantically. That can be a friend relationship. That can be a work relationship, like with your boss or a coworker or something. It could be a family member that you feel, you know, is just, I don't know, it has an effect on you. Whoever this is, whatever the situation is, there is some type of effect on you. And I also get a sense of somebody feeling like something just isn't right. So you might have felt like something was possibly done to you, or something involving you that was not handled properly. And so almost like losing faith and losing trust in people and those around you. And it's kind of blocking off the center. I feel as if you're not really going forth and creating. I feel like you're not also asking for support from other people in a sense. So this is interesting. This is an interesting energy. We're going to come back to this. Now this is the heart chakra, and we have the King of Wands, and we have the Four of Swords. This is interesting to me because of the fact that your sacral chakra has the Empress and the Seven of Pentacles. Some of you in this particular pile, you might be focusing more heavily on your lower chakras, and especially the sexual energy of things, because of the fact that your heart may have been hurt. You know, there is a disconnect here in regards to the King of Wands and the Four of Swords in reverse. There's a sense of possibly being out in the world, possibly like lots of sex, lots of flirting, lots of just, you know, connecting with different people, but not necessarily in the healthiest of ways. There's also a sense to me of, once again, going back to that powerlessness, the energy is definitely blocked here in the heart chakra, and I feel like it's affecting how you relate to people, and also how you relate to people. Like, and what I mean by that is the type of interactions you're having with people. Some of you might be resorting more to short-term interactions, short-term flings, you know, sexual, physical, keep it on the surface type of energy. And I don't really see a connection here in the heart. I could even unfortunately see some player type of energy going on. Some of you might be juggling different people or situations, or might be feeling as if everyone out there is, you know, out to do that to you. So there's some type of block here in the heart chakra. Now going to the throat chakra, we have the Nine of Wands, and we have the Page of Swords. This is interesting as well, because I feel like with this energy, I see somebody being very defensive, but after possibly a bad argument, after being around someone who possibly wounded you with words, or perhaps you're wounding other with words. But there is some type of energy here that is very cautious, very guarded, could be even manipulative in a sense, somebody possibly lying. So either you're finding yourself lying to others, or you feel like other people are lying to you. But there is a progression of blockage when it comes to relating to other people and trusting other people. So we have the third eye chakra, and here we have the Five of Swords reverse and the Moon. So I feel like the universe, your third eye is not as closed as it would seem. I feel like the universe is definitely trying to point things out to you, definitely trying to give you messages. I feel in a sense like you might purposely be trying to ignore it in a sense though. This chakra is not necessarily blocked. I feel like it's just being ignored, if that makes sense. You are receiving a lot of messages, I believe, in your dreams, in your subconscious. It's little moments of like inkling feelings that are coming through, and the universe is definitely trying to speak to you, definitely trying to uncover certain things I feel that you already know or already sense, but I feel like this is being ignored. Now, your crown chakra, we have the Page of Wands, and we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. The energy I'm getting from the crown chakra, I feel like there is a blockage here as well. I feel almost in a sense like the universe is, I feel like you're once again ignoring the universe. Like there's something that you know, perhaps, and if you are, let's say, in that reverse King of Wands energy, if you have been hurt and you're very mistrustful of people and you think that everyone's out to hurt you, or if perhaps you're in a situation where right now you're kind of swinging free, and it doesn't have to just be about sex. It doesn't have to just be about like getting with people. But if you're dealing with people in a manner that is not very connecting, is not very trustworthy, it's like, what can I get out of you, or what can you do for me, just because I don't trust people, or I feel like, you know, it's something of that nature of like, either I don't trust people because I feel like you're going to hurt me, or you're in an energy of, you know what, I've been hurt, so I'm going to hurt other people. I feel like the universe is trying to talk to you. I feel like it's trying to give you insight through your crown chakra, through your third eye. But I feel as if there is a sense of purposely trying to block that out, purposely trying to ignore it and not let it in. And I just heard painful. I feel like for some of you, you know, dealing with this moment, dealing with this realization, you feel like it would be painful, and that's why you're trying to like block it. So let's look into what chakra you should be dealing with, like to heal throughout the next 6 months. Ooh, okay, so 2 came out. All right, so the universe wants you to focus for the next 6 months on your throat chakra and the base chakra. So pretty much, and the throat chakra, let me just point out, is not just about talking. It's also about listening. And so with this, the universe is definitely speaking to you about being honest with yourself, being honest with other people, and listening, really listening and paying attention to what you're believing, what you're telling yourself, what you're also being told in a sense. So for the next 6 months, you might need to start expressing yourself more. You might even need to start writing more. Some of you might need to start singing or something of that nature. However, there needs to be some type of give to the world and some type of receiving where you're honestly listening and evaluating. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to listen and evaluate to lies. If somebody's sitting there clearly lying to you, however, you need to be able to discern that someone's lying to you and then, in a sense, pinpoint what the lie is. You know, if you're trying to purposely not hear something, then you will accept, in a sense, almost anything. Now, the other one is the base chakra, your root chakra. This goes back to, you know, how you define yourself as a person, what you feel as though you have in the world, your place in the world, your foundation. It's hitting me that for some of you, especially because it's showing me such a blockage in the heart and the throat and the higher up chakras, that perhaps some of you are using this time to cancel out your emotions and focus more on the material. You might be becoming workaholics or focus so much on like acquiring money or things or something of that nature because you're trying to block off your emotions, and the universe wants you to take the time to stop that, in a sense, to really look at a healthy way to work with this chakra. So I would encourage you to actually look up more about the base chakra or root chakra. Look more up about that in the throat chakra, and also Google or whatever search engine you happen to use, how to heal the base chakra and the throat chakra. But these are 2 areas you really need to focus on in the next 6 months. All right, so let's look into what the universe wants you to do for each of these chakras to balance them or to maintain them. This is closing out guidance for you from the universe. And one about love. So we'll start with this one. Okay, so what the universe wants you to do in regards to your love life and your heart chakra is to pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So I feel like for those of you who chose pile 3, it might be the fact that, you know, the red flags could be something that you feel as though is going against your heart, going against the type of person you want to be, going against what you want, the type of relationships and connections to people that you want. Now, this can also be for others of you the fact that you need to pay more attention to your heart. You need to pay more attention to who you're sharing your heart with and who, you know, you're around and who you're allowing, you know, to be close to you in that sense. You might have been getting signs and you might be in a relationship or connection or around certain people that they don't have your best interest at heart. So that's coming through for what the universe wants you to do for your heart chakra. Now, in regards to your crown chakra, what the universe wants you to do, it says clear sentiments. Notice your reoccurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. This is so important because I feel as though there's a disconnect here in the emotions of your heart and your energy relating to people and people relating to you, and possibly an overaction of physical connection here. There is a blockage to your crown chakra. You're not able to receive the information you need to receive because, like I said, you're trying to ignore it in a sense. You are allowing yourself to kind of look through your body versus through your soul. So the universe is saying that you need to come into harmony. You need to pay attention to not only your body, but your emotions in order to really pick up what the universe is trying to tell you. Now for your third eye, we have breathe. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. That's beautiful. So for those of you that have chose pile 3, and I said that the universe is definitely talking to you. You are picking up the signs. You might possibly just be ignoring them and not wanting to believe them. And it could be because it's overwhelming. For some of you, it might be scary what your spiritual sight is picking up. You know, the truths that you're seeing, or the visions, imaginations, whatever it is, manifestations that you're seeing. The universe is saying when you start feeling that way, just breathe. Sit. Some of you might need to just meditate and focus on your breath. You know, just focus on your breathing patterns and just see it as releasing negative energy from your body. For your throat chakra, we have remember who you are. You are a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You are very loved. Now, this is really important because I said some of you, there is like a caution feeling there. There is like almost a tiptoeing in a sense. Or it could be the fact that because you feel as though others have tried to hurt you so much, you might be in attack mode. Either way, the universe is saying that those are two extremes that you don't need to go towards. You need to find your center. You need to remember who you are. Remember that you are wonderful, that you are loved, that you are powerful, that you don't need to react, you know, as a scared individual or as an overly aggressive one, because you already are powerful, protected, blessed, and taken care of. So operate from that center. Now for your heart, we have clairvoyance. I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. This, I want to connect to this, especially because they're both for your heart. The fact that it says the signs are cautioning you, and it's telling you that in order to maintain in a healthy way this particular chakra is clairvoyance, which deals with spiritual sight. The universe wants you to see something clearly. There's something that's going on in regards to your life that is internalizing in your heart center, and it needs you to pay attention to it. Like I said, this could be toxic people that are around you, or it could be toxic beliefs or behaviors of yourself, but it's something you need to clearly see in order to heal and let go. And notice here how this angel is holding a wand or a staff that has all the chakra colors here. So this is definitely talking, and this glowing heart center, this is definitely talking about how, you know, all your chakras being aligned. Like it really starts in the heart. The heart is the center. Now for your solar plexus, we have indigo and crystal children. You have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. I feel in a sense that this is also in regards to your inner child. Now, this could be quite literal. Something could be going on in regards to children. With this justice reverse, it could be the fact that some of you are dealing with the unfair situation you feel like in a custody battle, in a divorce or something of that nature, and that could be what's throwing you off. And the universe is talking to you about strengthening that bond with your child, how that's going to help you to heal and maintain and balance that solar plexus chakra. But however, it can also be talking, I believe, to healing the inner child. There might be some issues stemming back from childhood that are coming up now, being triggered now, that need to be dealt with. It also could be the fact that, speaking of indigo and crystal, you might want to look up literally indigo children, crystal children. And that doesn't necessarily mean like a child. It, I believe, talks about a certain frequency, certain life forms that came to this world. I believe like indigo children, you know, many of which nowadays are adults. So you might possibly be an indigo child. You might possibly be a crystal child. And this might be something that you want to look into, because perhaps, you know, that is a guideline to maybe certain areas in your life that you could follow. It might provide a piece to why certain energy things affect you, why certain situations and people affect you in a certain way, and how you can kind of get back on balance. So definitely take what resonates for you. For some of you, it's going to be a literal child. For others of you, it's going to be an inner child. And for a, you know, other majority of you, it's going to be the fact that it's speaking to you, quite possibly being an indigo or crystal child. And you might want to look that up. Now, in regards to the sacral chakra, we have compassion. Soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. Now, I want to point out here how this angel has this glowing orb in its hand, and how this Empress has this glowing hand of power. And I feel like this is talking about your power. I feel like some of you might be looking for power in the wrong place, might be giving your power away. And it's really talking about that creativity, that spark. Some of you, as I said before, really might not be feeling inspired or creative lately. Some of you might be trying to find power perhaps in the wrong place. And that could be in regards to having control over other people sexually. And so there is a need to have compassion when you're dealing with yourself and with others. And I really like what it said about softening your heart. I said before that I felt like the heart chakra was linked to the sacral chakra in regards to that reverse King of Wands. And I feel like that's very, very important here. I feel like certain actions are being triggered because of the fact that the heart is blocked off. Now, for the root chakra, we have gentleness. Be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. I also want to point out that this angel has a string instrument right here, so that might be important for someone. You might want to get into music. I don't know, maybe you play music. Maybe you've always wanted to be a musician, but you are telling yourself, like, I can't do that. It's not going to pay the bills. And the universe is talking to you about following your heart. So definitely, I feel like there's great advice here on how to balance your chakras and how to identify what exactly in your life might be throwing them out of balance. So let's move into your closing out message. We have surrender low self-esteem. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. And then we have surrender fear. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment, focus on solutions, and celebrate every baby step forward. That is powerful. I also want to point out the fact that there's a lot of yellow and orange in here. So I feel like, once again, that's going back heavily to the whole solar plexus and sacral chakra. So definitely, like, I really do think that's a power center that needs to be looked at. So let's look into what the current color of your aura is. I want to know what the predominant color is right now for your aura. Wow. So we have solar plexus chakra. So the color of your aura most predominantly right now is yellow. However, I am focusing on the shadows that are in this yellow right now. So I do feel like it's more of a a darkened type of yellow. So I do encourage you to look up the spiritual meanings and properties of a yellow aura, and also look into auras that might have a bit of a shadowing of color in them. And that's not a terrible thing, it's nothing like that, but I do feel as though it's relevant considering the other chakras that were slightly imbalanced. So definitely look into darkened yellow auras and how to heal them. Also, I think that, and I think I mentioned it before, with listening to music can definitely help you. I think that's important for you for some reason. I was talking about the music, like the chakra meditation music, guided meditations for chakras, but with me just talking about music, I feel like that's important. So please be careful and pay attention to the type of music you listen to. Some of it might be very moody and might be affecting your energy. And I just heard right now, so some of you might actually be listening to some type of music right now that's putting you in a lower energy. You could be listening to it as you're watching this video. What else? Also, pay attention to, I think like messages are coming through to you in music. I get a sense of certain songs, like maybe something lyrics you hear on the radio or something like that. There are certain messages that are trying to come through to you. So you might want to pay attention to that. That just really hit me for someone, and I have to put that out there. But thank you so much for watching Pile 3. I'm sending you lots of love, light, and positive healing energy. I hope that I was able to offer some enlightenment. And if you feel like this pile didn't resonate for you, you might want to go back and pick a different pile. And please keep in mind this for the general collective. So there's definitely going to be things that just don't resonate, and that's absolutely okay. But if you happen to like the video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I do read all the comments, and I do take the time to comment back to everyone, because I really appreciate, you know, the fact that you all take the time to watch the video and to let me know what resonates. So please know that I really do appreciate that. Also, if you would like a personal reading, I do offer personal readings in my Etsy shop, and you can book one with me by following the link in the description box below. But thank you for watching Pile 3. All right, hey everyone who chose Pile 4, let's find out about your chakras and also the color of your aura. All right, so we have the crown chakra, we have third eye, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral or sacral, depending on how you pronounce it, and the root. I'll start with the root chakra. All right, so for those of you who chose pile number 4, we have Temperance and we have Page of Wands. So the energy that I'm getting here, I don't know why, but I hear Daredevil. I feel like some of you might be like thrill seekers or really adventurous or like trying new things. I also feel like some of you here might really be drawn to material things. So like fashion, clothes, spending money on travel, or just things like that, of that nature. And I feel like the universe has been trying to help you to balance that out in a sense. Not saying that's necessarily a bad thing or anything of that nature, but I feel like this chakra, because this being the root chakra, this is located near the groin area. And I definitely encourage you to look up the chakras a bit more, to also look up a chart to see their placement. This chakra is red, represented by the color red. And this deals a lot with how grounded you feel as a person and in the world, you know, your self-esteem and things of that nature. So this particular chakra, I'm just hoping that those of you who chose pile 4, that the majority of you aren't leaning on material possessions in a sense, or like showing things off in order to feel validated. I do feel like with this Temperance, some of you have noticed this and are trying to balance that out. For some of you, it might be the fact that you do have a nice balance. You do tend to kind of draw back from just overly wanting the material. So there's something like that that's coming through. Some of you might have a really good handle on that already, and others of you might be trying to get a handle on that. But I do feel like you like to have fun. I do feel like this pile may like to take a bit of a risk. I get a go-getter type of energy and very creative type of energy. So that's what's coming through in regards to the root chakra. Now for the sacral or sacral, depending on how you pronounce it, chakra, we have the Queen of Swords and the Devil. Now, I have to put it out there just because it's hitting me real quick, but some of you in this particular pile, your sacral chakra or sacral, this is right around the pelvis area, and this is orange. This deals with sexual energy, and sexual energy is the energy of creation. So it's not necessarily like sex always, but it can deal with like passion and inspiration and like, you know, the energy of will and determination and things like that. Now, I'm going to say what I'm seeing first, and then I'll go into the sub messages that are hitting me. But I feel like some of you in this pile, there might be some addictions going on. Doesn't have to be just in a sexual nature, though that is coming up as well. But I feel like some of you are trying to treat some type of area of your life with sexual connection. Some of you, I feel like the arousal that I'm feeling isn't even a physical arousal. It can be more a mental arousal with this Queen of Swords. So for some reason, I got something with the internet. I don't know if somebody is addicted to like reading erotica or talking to strangers or like sexting, chatting or something, but something like that came through. I definitely feel as if, see, it's interesting because I feel like this pile is trying to restrain. So I feel like this particular chakra is blocked. I feel like someone is trying to restrain these urges and these desires, but I do feel like there is a battle that's going on here. Some people, you might be addicted to sex, or you might be like overly fantasizing about sex. So considering that this is what I would consider like the energy center of, think of like fire. I think of fire and I think of it as it's something that you can use to help or to hurt. So you can use it to cook a meal and warm a home or to burn something down. So this particular energy, I feel like there's a fight going on because the energy is tipping more into a hurtful energy. So you could be addicted to sex, or you could be, it could even be a fear of sex. It could be a fear of intimacy. There's something where it's an extreme happening. Either you're tipping over the scale or you're trying to avoid it altogether. So something like that is coming through. Either way, this chakra is pretty kind of like, it's out of balance, I would say. I don't want to say open, closed, because it's going to depend on who I'm speaking to, and there's a lot of people watching, but it's out of balance. And so, like I said, that could be the fact that it's underactive or it's overactive right now. Now, in regards to, and I do feel like this is affecting the creative process. This is affecting the focus, because when you're so focused on trying to fight this energy or avoid this energy, it throws off the free-flowing creative energy that you have. So moving into the solar plexus. Now the solar plexus, this energy center is right above your navel. It's yellow, and it tends to deal with like, this is like your power center. You know, a lot of people consider it the power center. And as I said before, please feel free to research the chakras, because I'm kind of just giving a dusting over definition. You can find more information that'll really go in depth and let you know like more about the chakras, you know, more than I'm able to provide right now. But the solar plexus chakra, it deals with also what we consider our intuition, our gut reaction of things. It's also our creative powerhouse, different from the sacral chakra in regards to, this is the energy. It doesn't just like motivate us. We use it to create. We project it out into the world in a sense. It's also where we tend to connect most with other people. Doesn't mean we don't connect with them, you know, through the throat chakra or the heart or different things like that. But this is where we tend to energetically pick up our vibes on other people. So what I'm picking up from this, this Seven of Cups and the Hanged Man, I feel like there's some confusion going on. I feel like with the sacral chakra, you kind of been put on pause. I feel like you haven't really been able to connect with people perhaps the way you wanted to, or deeply, because of the fact that there is so much energy that you're taking in and you're not able to truly discern it. I feel like this chakra may be a bit out of balance as well. I do feel like some people are making efforts here to align themselves. I feel like some people might be staying away from certain things. Like you might have had, like I said, those addictions before, and you're purposely trying to stay away from them. But for other people, I feel as if you're kind of overwhelmed. It's like a lot hitting you. There's so much that possibly you want to create, you want to like do, you don't know what option is best for you. Or it could be a lot of different people who are trying to proposition you for something. Could even be friendship, could be work, you know, could be something with family, but it's a matter of just something is not grounded to where your compass is able to point you where you need to go. And so I'm definitely seeing that here. Now, the next chakra, we have the heart chakra. Whew, okay, so we have the Three of Swords and the Chariot. So what I'm picking up here is that definitely was some heartbreak, some hard truths, some hurt that took place. And I feel as if those of you who chose pile 4, some of you are trying to move forward. Some of you are trying, but this is what gets me. Some of you, I feel like, are trying to move forward by ignoring it in a sense, like trying to drive yourself forward. I almost heard denial. So I feel like for some people, it's like, I'm going to act like this didn't even fucking happen. Excuse my language. But, you know, just like pushing forward. And that could go back to why that devil energy was here in the sacral chakra of possibly sleeping with many different people. And I'm not judging. I have no judgment in regards to that. I'm just saying that that energy could be overactive or even underactive because of the heartbreak, because it's like that emotional center was bruised. So it's kind of like trying to fold in on yourself, but even though you're folding in, you're trying to project out to the world as if you're not. So there is some type of pain here that's not being addressed in the heart chakra. There is some type of, I even just heard selfishness. So you might have been the victim of somebody else's selfishness, or you could possibly be being selfish right now in regards to a situation. You might be dealing with a third-party situation, whether it happened to you or whether you perhaps are kind of orchestrating a third-party situation yourself, but there is some type of division. I feel like there's a divide. It's not straightforward. There's something very like energy muddled here that needs to be dealt with. In regards to the throat chakra, we have the Star and the Knight of Wands. I just heard smooth talker. Some of you here are very good with words. Some of you here, I feel like you might be very poetic. You might be very charming. I just heard fast talker. Some of you might talk very fast. And that's just definitely coming through for some of you. I feel like your words carry a lot of power. You know, your words definitely carry a lot of weight. People like to hear you speak. People like to talk to you. And I don't want to say like you put a spell on people, but there's something with your voice. There's something with that center where it's like people believe you in a sense. I don't know. People are swayed by you. Could even be turned on. I don't know if some of you use your voice for something. Could be possibly, I don't know, a voiceover actor or a sex operator or something like that. But something like that is hitting me with the voice. But however, I'm kind of getting a sense that you possibly need to work on your listening a bit more. You know, the throat chakra is not just about talking, it's also about listening. And I kind of feel like for those in this pile, you're really great in a sense at talking. And I just heard open book. So some of you may really pride yourself on telling other people like I'm an open book, but I kind of get a feeling that when it comes to actually like listening and taking in that of other people, it's kind of like a selective memory, you know, just, I don't know, there's a disconnect. There's definitely a disconnect. And I feel as if, and this isn't for everybody, take what resonates, but I do feel as if there needs to be some work on the listening that's happening here, because if something doesn't catch your interest, it's like you kind of tune out in a sense. But yeah. I also feel like for some of you in this pile, you might tell stories in a sense. So it could be the fact that maybe you are a professional storyteller. Maybe you talk about adventures you've been on, or because I see the pyramids back here and I feel like travel, like just letting people know all the things that you've done. I also feel though like you're very inspirational when you speak. I feel like you may possibly, I don't know, like give great advice or something, or things that you say uplift others. Like people enjoy listening to what you say, and it's almost like the universe kind of jumps through you at times, and you find yourself speaking things to people that it's like, thank you, I really needed to hear that. You know, there's a lot of wisdom and guidance that comes through you at moments. So for your third eye, wow. So for the third eye, we have the Eight of Swords. And your third eye is very blocked off, and there's a denial that's happening. There is a feeling of like, I can't see, but it's because of yourself. Like, you're purposely not allowing yourself to see. And it might be because of the fact that you have all these different, you know, swords around you, these different thoughts you're having, these different things that are distracting you. But it's a sense of you're allowing yourself to be distracted by this, that you don't have to be, you know, trapped or blinded by what's going on. And if you're sitting here dealing with addictions, dealing with just things you don't want to deal with, in a sense, and I know that's so basic of a saying, I'm trying to find my words, but something you're trying to get away from, something you're trying to avoid. It could be fears, it can be, like I said, addictions, it could be people or choices, but there's something, some type of wall that you have built up around yourself mentally that it's literally blocking your sight. But you're not helpless. You can get rid of that. So for your crown chakra, we have the Hierophant. You know, it's very interesting because even though you have a few blockages happening here, the universe is still clearly talking to you. And oops. And with this Hierophant card, thank you card, I was just about to say that, I feel like it's linking to your throat chakra and the fact that you are giving divine guidance at times to people without possibly even noticing it. I feel like your crown chakra is actually quite open, and that your throat chakra, I don't think your throat chakra is closed. I feel like there, for some of you, there is a slight imbalance, especially with this Knight of Wands energy, but it's not a huge imbalance. It's not a terrible imbalance that's going on. I think it's more about intent. Like, what is the intent of your words, or what is it, the, you know, intent of the conversation you have with certain people? That's what's coming through. That's when that Knight of Wands energy kind of pops out. But I get a sense that you are very open to the universal guidance. It's just there is a disconnect because it's coming through the crown, it's skipping the third eye in a sense, jumping to the throat, and then it's like these blockages here until it gets down to the root. So you definitely have some like stutters in your energy that needs to be addressed. All right, so let's look at what chakra the universe wants you to focus on for the next 6 months. Okay, solar plexus chakra. We had this for pile 3 as well. So the universe wants you to focus on your solar plexus chakra for the next 6 months. Now you can literally look up solar plexus chakra like healing and find out more about this chakra, more about how to heal it. But this is very important because this is what I was talking about with that confusion, with that disconnect. There's a lot of fantasizing going on here. There's a lot of unsureness. And I feel like you kind of know where the universe is trying to pull you. But as before, there's so many distractions around you. There's so many things that you're trying to kind of wade through, in a sense, like muddy waters. So the universe is definitely talking to you about harnessing your personal power and using that to put back out into the world. Now let me pull some cards in regards to what the universe wants you to do for each chakra. This is what the universe wants you to do specifically for your heart chakra and love life. this will be closing out guidance for you. The only pile that got 3 for guidance. Okay, so for your root chakra, we have career transition. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So in order for you to maintain and balance your root chakra, you know, that sense of who you are, that foundation, how you feel grounded in the world, the material things you have, the universe is talking to you about a career transition. Some of you might need to possibly move towards another type of career, another type of job. Could be even a career choice of study or even a position in a company. But there's some type of change that needs to happen in regards to your career and what it is you want to do. For your sacral chakra, sacral, we have nurture. As you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. So you need to give a little more tender love and care to yourself in regards to whatever it is that you're battling, whatever demons it is that you're battling right now, whether that's a fear of intimacy, whether that's overindulgent in intimacy, whether that's feeling for some reason like your ideas don't matter, or a loss of willpower. Some of you might actually be dealing with erectile dysfunction or like a loss of libido, and perhaps you need to, when I think of nurture, it's also hitting me of like, I don't know, something with nutrition. So I feel like some of you might need to go to a nutritionist. Some of you might need to see a doctor in regards to, you know, your pelvic area and what possibly is happening in that region. For others of you, it might be a fact that you might need to surround yourself with a little more support. Some of you might need to, you know, have better relationships around you. That's what I mean. Especially if you have toxic ones that you're dealing with, even if that is a sexual relationship or not, there's some type of unhealthiness that you need to give yourself time to heal yourself from. For some of you, very small, select few of you, some of you might be dealing with an unwanted pregnancy right now, and that's kind of coming through. I'm not going to give any judgment or any advice on what you should do in regards to that. I feel like, you know, that's something that is personal and you would have to figure out for yourself. But I am kind of getting a feeling of abortion popping up with the Queen of Swords and the Devil. So that might be something that you're considering. Like I said, I personally am not going to give any type of you should or shouldn't do something. You have to do what feels right for you. Now, for your solar plexus, we have clairaudience. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. So let me just pull this on out. Come on up. Come on up. So for yourself, I feel like the universe is actually trying to get you to connect once again to your throat chakra and your third eye, because with this talking about noticing the love and guidance inside your mind and from other people, you need to connect to those two sources in order for you to really discern. Once again, because I said this is how you relate to people as well, the energy that you put out into the world, the energy that you receive back, like how you're reading other people. It might be hard for you to read people in your life right now to see what their intentions are because of the fact that you're not well connected at the moment. So the universe is talking about, as you learn to kind of trust yourself more, to listen to what the guidance is that is trying to give you, then you'll be able to really tap into this energy center. We also have for the heart chakra, prioritize. Focus on your highest priorities. I will help keep you organized and motivated. well, that was supposed to say get you organized and motivated, but for whatever reason, keep came out. So I think the universe, especially because I was talking about the Chariot, some of you are trying to throw yourself into work or distractions. Some of you, I do get a sense of feeling like pulled in two different directions. So you really are kind of having a time, you know, being organized and focused and motivated because of the fact that this is weighing on you heavily. There's a lot of distraction here in this pile. I feel like some of you are battling a lot of distraction in certain energy centers of your life. And that's manifesting forward. So the universe is talking about, as you prioritize what really matters, as you know, and call on the universe. You know, if you pray to a certain deity or a certain religion, talk to your spiritual support system and ask them for help. Ask them to block off that which doesn't serve you. Ask them to help to organize your brain, to motivate you, to keep you centered and grounded, because there is some feeling of distraction here. And this could stem from the heartbreak. You may have found out something. It doesn't have to be love related. Could be family. Something hurt. You know, there's something that came to light and it really hurt. And so it's a matter of you needing to prioritize. And I kind of feel like you know, you are a priority as well, not just work. Some of you, yes, that will have to do with your work and your other areas of life. Maybe you haven't been focusing on them to deal with this pain, and you need to jump back into handling them. But for others of you, I feel like you need to be a priority. You know, perhaps you still have somebody around you that hurt you, and you need to prioritize yourself and how you feel versus just trying to keep this person in your life or appeased. Also with the heart chakra, we have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So what the universe wants you to further know for your heart chakra, especially in regards to your love life, is that something is worth waiting for. Maybe you're waiting for a connection to manifest and it hasn't, and the universe is telling you, don't be heartbroken. There are certain things you need to focus on right now. Right now, this is about you. And when the time is right, then we will bring this to you. For others of you, it might be the fact that there was a breakup that happened, and you might be feeling, in a sense, like, you know, this breakup or this ending or whatever the case is. This is about romance, so this is talking about love, but you might feel like maybe you'll never get with somebody else, and the universe is saying that's not true. We do have love waiting for you, but you will have to wait. And that's because there's some healing that needs to take place. There is some mind, body, and spirit and emotional, mental healing that needs to take place. I just said mind and mental. You know what? Don't even worry about that. We're going to just double mental it. But there is healing that needs to take place on all levels. So it's really important for you to do that. And as you do that, they will show you who is better suited for you now that you have taken yourself to a healthier level. All right, so for the throat chakra, we have gentleness. Be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. Also, I like pointing out that this angel is holding a string instrument. Some of you might play guitar. Some of you really might like playing music or singing or something of that nature. But I also get a sense of this can either be you needing to be more gentle with how you speak to other people, or it could be a matter of making sure that there are people around you who are speaking compassionately and kindly to you. So make sure that you don't have sweet talkers around you. Or if you are the sweet talker and you're pretty much blowing hot air in people's, you know, faces and ears and whatnot, you might want to stop doing that. The universe is definitely talking about being more loving. That's important for your throat chakra, to be more loving, to be more gentle, to possibly rephrase certain things that you're saying if they're coming off very harshly. You can still get the same intent across or message without, you know, possibly hurting someone, and vice versa. If you have someone around you who doesn't care about your feelings and they're saying just whatever they want, you need to really sit back and think about that. Now, in regards to your third eye, we have hello from heaven. Your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. This is for someone very specific, real quick, a message that just hit me. Some of you might be highly spiritual in this group, and you might actually, and I saw something like this, I believe, in pile 1, but you might actually see something spiritually. You might see spirits. You might have some type of prophetic dreams or something of that nature, and that's why you're purposely blocking off your third eye. And the universe is talking to you about the fact that that's not necessary. Like it says, let go of worries and feel the loving blessings. You don't have to be worried. Speak to your spiritual support team. Speak to them. Let them know, you know, only allow beings of love and light around me. You know, talk to your angels, your deity, whoever it is. And if you really are trying to avoid this, then ask your deity, ask whoever you pray to, you know, why is this happening? You know, why is this happening to me? What can I do about this? But that's for somebody very specific in this pile. Now, for others of you, I feel like this is kind of a wake-up call for others who are watching. More so the universe saying like, hey, take the blindfold off. So it's trying to let you know that there's nothing to be worried about. Even though you feel like it's so many things around you, even though you feel like you're going to take that blindfold off and you're going to start paying attention to things and it's just going to hurt you again, possibly. Like some of you may have, I heard search, some of you may have like searched for some type of truth, some type of answer to something, found it and it broke your heart, and now you just stopped looking for the truth altogether for some reason. And the universe is telling you, you don't have to do that. You were, I know it hurts, but you were meant to find what you found so that you could move forward in love and light. So you could find out the truth. So you weren't sitting there being led blindly. So don't be worried about opening your spiritual sight. Don't be worried about seeing the truth or somebody for who or what it really is. All right. And so for your crown, we have patience. Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. I feel like for this, the universe is just literally telling you, don't worry necessarily about your crown chakra, that they will speak to you when you need to be spoken to, that you will hear them when you are meant to hear them. And also, I feel like, for some reason, I get like a feeling of a steady flow. So I feel like information comes to you very steadily. I feel like it's like a trickle down. And so, you know, some of you might feel certain sensations at the top of your head. You might feel almost like, I don't know, like fingers at the top. Some of you might feel like a tingle. Some of you might feel like your hair is being pulled, or a temperature. It might feel really warm, but it's going to be different for everyone. Some people may feel when they're trying to meditate like they're falling backwards through the top of their head. So it really depends. But at the end of the day, I feel like the universe is letting you know, for your crown chakra, just allow them to speak to you when it's time to speak to you. Now for your closing out messages, we have surrender resentments. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward towards positive situations in your life. I feel like this is very important for pile 4, especially with this broken heart here. And I feel like there's mistrust. For some reason, you are very mistrustful of other people. And I feel like not even necessarily mistrustful in regards to just what people say, but like something happened to where I feel like those in pile 4, you don't trust even if a person is presenting themselves to you as a nice person or a nice individual. And you don't trust a lot of the time because of the fact that you're cut off from the energy centers that would allow you to listen to your intuition to pick up if somebody was genuine or not. So I just heard alone. So some of you might be feeling like, I'm just alone in the world. Like I'm just out here floating and I don't know who is good, who is bad. Like, I just don't know. It says surrender fear. Let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment. Focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward. Yes, that's very important. Especially what I saw with that devil card back here. You know, I was talking about addictions or something that you're trying to fight, something there's some type of fear there that's making like some type of extreme happen, either avoiding something or really immersing yourself in it. There is no medium at the moment. And then surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your prayer and soar. I don't know why I said prayer. It's power, and soar into your life. Some of you, I feel like something with prayer is important. You might have been praying. You might need to start praying again. For some of you, perhaps something with church. You might have wanted to go back to church but haven't been avoiding it. But that's for someone specific, that coming through. But this is about letting go of whatever you told yourself. Maybe some of you are holding shame about how you are in relationships. Either you feel like people treat you wrong, or perhaps you feel like you treat other people wrong. And the universe is saying, you got to let that go. You feel me? Every day that you wake up, is a new day, a new decision. And if you decide to repeat who you were yesterday, that is a decision you are making. You can wake up the next day and be like, you know what? I want a new start. I don't want to be owned by the past. I don't want to be owned by what affected me before. I don't have to do the same thing. You know, hopefully those of you who are watching are going to live long, beautiful lives. And with that being said, you don't know how many days you have left. You don't have to sit there and repeat any pattern you don't want to just because you're in it. You can sit there and take the time to break a pattern. You can sit there and at least try. Like this card said, every baby step forward. Celebrate every baby step forward. Some of you really do need to take some baby steps towards liberating yourselves. I feel like there's a feeling of entrapment here in this pile, but I feel like for the most part, it's self-imposed. There's some type of, I almost want to say like some type of self-anger and punishment that I don't know, something like that that's going on. And I feel like a majority of you who chose pile 4, you got to break out of that, and you have to know that you can do it, that you are capable of breaking out of this. All right, before I end this reading, I want to look into what the color of your aura is currently, like most predominantly. Let's see. All right, so we have blue. The predominant color of your aura for those who chose pile 4 is blue. I don't know why, but I feel like I need to pull this too. Ooh, okay. So this fell over. So the predominant color that's coming through is blue. Some of the inner layers of your aura are red and orange. So this is throat chakra, root chakra or base chakra, and sacral or sacral chakra, depending on how you pronounce it. You might want to look up the spiritual properties or meanings of these colors, and that'll help you kind of get more of an idea of like what energy is affecting your aura right now. Also, I feel as though looking up more about these specific chakras, I think it's really great to do a little research into all of them, but especially the ones that pop through, you know, the one that came through for your heart, the one that is really hitting in regards to these 3, like really do a little looking into that, and also look up healing them. So you can literally research throat chakra healing and so forth. Also, as I mentioned before, you might want to listen to some meditations on YouTube in regards to chakra cleansing, chakra clearing, or clearing these specific ones. But pile 4, thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you lots of love, light, and positive energy. Just take a second and let that soak on in. But thank you for watching. If you happen to like the video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I do take the time to read all comments, and I do take the time to try to answer back to all comments. Also, if you would like a personal reading, you can book one with me by clicking on the Etsy shop link in the description box below. And thank you for taking the time. I know that this is a lot of information, but I hope that it was enlightening. I hope that it was helpful. And if this particular pile didn't resonate for you, that's absolutely okay. This reading is for the general collective, so I'm channeling a lot of energy. You might want to possibly try, you know, a different pile and see if that resonates. But either way, thank you so much for taking the time to come to my channel to watch this video. Love and light.